Hello, welcome everybody to the Expendable Show, and I'm your host, the Expendable. And in honor of the last day of Pride Month, it's raining man, hallelujah, it's raining man. How you like that, Shoshana? You didn't like that, huh? Happy Pride Month.
I don't know why you putting it to me.
So Shauna is joining us today. She's kind of working at the same time, so she's going to be jumping in and out. And maybe we'll get a camera-ness of herself before long. But I need to stop singing songs. I get too excited. I can come up with the most ridiculous songs ever to sing on here if you really want me to. And if you want to get real crazy, I'll have my brother come on and we'll just do duets. And then it's going to get real crazy. But anyway, on the Expendable Show today, we've got a few things going on. Probably the biggest thing this week, tomorrow, 9 o'clock, CNN, the Commie News Network, is going to be the presidential debate, the first one between Donald J. Trump and Joseph Robinette Biden. 2 men in, 1 man out. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to break down we're going to break that down a little bit, see what that's probably going to look like. It could go a few different ways. I'm not going to lie. But first, I want to let everybody know I've got over 3,000 views on TikTok now. So I'm like officially like certified, like an expert on Gen Z now. I'm working on coming up with something to where I'm gonna do a bunch of different versions of the sprinkler to different like types of songs, because there's nobody on this planet,
which I told absolutely not.
But there's nobody on this planet, and actually Shauna agreed with me earlier today when we were talking about it, that nobody does the sprinkler better than me, even though she's never seen me do the sprinkler. But when I start making TikTok videos of me doing the sprinkler, she's going to be like, oh my gosh, Eric, I've never seen anyone sprinkle like you. So I'm going to do it. And I just got to figure out how to get songs on TikTok to see if the China virus will let me do it. Even though I did get temporarily suspended from TikTok yesterday. I was heartbroken. China doesn't like me. It's okay. I don't like you either, China. So that's my TikTok rant of the day. Now I want to talk about this real quick before we get into the debate. So there was a runoff yesterday in New York, and it was between Jamal Bowman, who currently holds the seat, and George Latimer, who's more of a moderate Democrat, where Jamal Bowman kicks it with the Squad and Shauna's long lost sister Ilhan Omar.
I ain't told you about
that. Just making sure you're still awake. And so that, to me, when I'm looking at this, like, I know a lot of the conservatives are like, yeah, Jamal Bowman got beat. And the liberals are like pretending like it didn't happen. Like, they're not saying anything about it. So I'm going to kind of give you my take on that. Me personally was seeing how things have been happening in New York, where you've had this like exodus happening from New York since they've been charging Trump in New York. That tells me some things. Like, people are moving down here to Georgia. You know, I know me and Shauna, we talk about that all the time, how there's so many, I'm going to call them illegal immigrants from New York, because we don't want those New Yorkers down here. But, you know, we should probably like put them under the bridge. and 285 and 400. They can go under the bridge. No, I'm just kidding. We like you New Yorkers. I know.
No, we don't. We want them to go back to New York where they don't know how to drive. Leave it up there. Okay. All the boots and the puffers and all that. Leave it in New York. We don't want it. We're good.
Tell it like it is, Shauna. The New Yorkers drive crazy down here, so that's my only beef with them.
That's because they don't know how to drive. They don't know how. They don't really drive typically. So the fact that they're down here having to drive everywhere is bad for them. I don't need to be down here.
Yeah, you can't just ride your bike to work here. Like everybody works like an hour away from where they live. You have to drive. But anyway, in New York, so then Trump went up there in the Bronx and had a rally, and it was a really, really surprisingly good turnout for the Bronx, which is supposed to be a dominant blue district headed by Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and she was all super salty that Trump drew a crowd in her district like she owns it or something. So he lost. Jamal Bowman lost to George Latimer by a lot. It was like 14 points he got beat. So for me, that's a temperature gauge. And what it tells me is that maybe the Democrats, they're not swaying away from being Democrat, but it looks to me like they're swaying away from the radical progressive movement, which would be a really smart idea. And I think if that happened, if people went more moderate, it would be highly beneficial to the country, because this socialist progressive movement that Jamal Bowman's a part of that. It's not going to fly. It's not going to work. It's unconstitutional. It's a threat to democracy. It's everything I can think of. It should go under a military tribunal and people should be kicked out of Congress. That's what I think. But I'm not dictator of America yet. So just wait. Just give it some time. And I'll make it happen. Elect me. Write me in. Just kidding. Don't waste a vote on me. Vote for Donald Trump. Right, Shauna? That's right. What did you say? You endorse Donald Trump now?
Don't draw me into that. Don't draw me into that.
I almost got her. I thought she was slipping.
No, I'm listening always. Absolutely not.
No, you never listen. You don't listen to anything I say.
Because I don't.
Anyway. Aren't you supposed to be working?
I am.
Okay. I'm just making sure. Just making sure you're doing your job. I don't want you to get wrote up for hanging out with me on podcasts that you don't get paid for. So anyway. Hey, mute your mic. I can hear your order.
I thought I was. Sorry. She was taking an order for some coffee. Blech, Starbucks, gross. Anyway, so that tells me what's going on in New York. I feel like there's a transition happening. It's not like a drastic transition, but it's enough to where it tells me like the general Democrat populace of New York is saying this progressive thing isn't working for us. That happened because of Pride last year when they were walking around with their body parts out in front of children. I think that kind of sparked everybody. We're going to change sides.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that, Shauna. I remember that now that you bring that up. That was a bad thing. I just don't understand. I don't understand that whole thing. And I feel bad because the gay community overall generally isn't like that. And it's just a few bad apples that made it look real bad for all of them. So, I'm kind of sympathetic towards that. But at the same time, like if you're going to have protests like that and you're going to have kids show up to a protest, you better act right. So it's not, I don't care how you try to spin it in your head. It's not appropriate, but I'm just a dude on a podcast. What do I know? Whatever. It's my show. I'll do whatever I want. I'm like the Andy Milonakis show because it's my show. Y'all don't tell me what to do. I love Andy Milonakis. He's awesome. I wish his show would come back. So that we have that the whole New York thing going on. So that's gonna blow over. Jamal Bowman lost and he's out. And even though they had this like super flamboyant, like high energy, like protest with like 12 people that showed up, and Jamal Bowman had to roll his sleeve up so everybody could see his arm. He was like this, running around with one sleeve out and one sleeve on. Then you had Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez like acting all gangster and like Latina, and it didn't work. He lost because that socialist shit don't work, and everybody's sniffing it out for what it is now. So going into our main topic, so tomorrow is the first presidential debate. It's a big deal. I'm going to be watching it, even though the Communist News Network is going to be hosting this first one. I'm going to give them some ratings because I do feel like it's important for me to see it in real time, so I can see if there's emotion. I need to feel how it's happening. So I will be evaluating that, and probably like I'm going to completely nerd out and probably take some notes, even though I can probably watch it on any streaming thing later in its entirety over and over and over again. I'm still going to be a nerd and take notes. That's what I'm going to do. So when we look at this week leading up to the debate, so Donald Trump's been running around and he's still campaigning. He's making stops. He's talking to people. He's out there. Biden, on the other hand, he has spent his whole week at Camp David with 16 debate advisors practicing for the debate. Huh? That dude needs that much debate prep for who's running the country while he's doing this. We got all these international things going on, and he's in the freaking Camp David going through his cue cards. Attack Trump. Okay. Gonna attack Trump. Felony Trump. So we'll go in. Let's talk about what should Biden do and what is he probably gonna do. What Biden should do is he should stick to touting the things that he feels that he is successful at. So I went ahead and I got on JoeBiden.com. This is his campaign page. And so I want to see and point out these things that he's claiming that he's been successful at. And so these are the things that I would expect Joe Biden to talk about at the debate, right? Because he wants to tout his record. He believes that his record is good. So he's talking about he wants to lower costs for middle-class families so everybody can have the American dream. And he claims that Donald Trump's focusing on rigging the economy for himself and billionaire donors, just like he did last time, huh? Although I had a lot of money when Donald Trump was president. I mean, so if he was rigging it for the billionaire donors, he must have accidentally rigged it for me too, because I did very well. My finances suck ass during Biden. They still do. So after that, then he goes on and he talks about his jobs. Said Donald Trump left office with the worst jobs record of since the Great Depression. Okay, so I look at all his charts that he's got. He shows right before the election the economy was down, and that's because of COVID. They shut Dr. Fauci, who needs to be in prison, shut down the majority, or suggested that everybody shut things down. So you lost all those jobs, and Joe Biden is going to blame Donald Trump for COVID doing that, which whatever. So then he's going to go take credit for the jobs coming back. He's going to blame Donald Trump for COVID and making the jobs go away. Then he's going to take credit for lifting all of the precautionary measures so all the jobs come back. And then he's going to go, I created 15 million jobs. No, you didn't. The jobs that that Dr. Fauci shut down magically came back. So no, you didn't create 15 million new jobs. Unemployment was below 4%. I mean, that's something that Biden could probably campaign on. That is an actual statistic. That's correct. He's going after the drug cost, the healthcare premiums, energy cost. He's not really going after energy cost. I'm going to tell you that right now. He don't give two shits about the energy cost. He spent $8 billion or something like that, billions of dollars to make 8 EV charging stations. He's just wasting our money on stupid shit. He said he's going to war with Big Pharma, which we know that's not going to happen. He says this all the time, and I have yet to see him go to war with Big Pharma. He has done nothing but help Big Pharma make more money. So now I need you all to understand that when he says I'm going to go to battle with Big Pharma, I want to know what he's going to do. What is his plan to battle Big Pharma? Is he going to do an executive order and say, hey, you guys can't charge over 20% of the manufacturing cost of all medications? Because if I was dictator of the United States, that's what I would do. 20%. This is how much it costs to make this. Dollars, a couple dollars. All right. Well, you can't charge more than 40 cents for that pill. That seems pretty freaking reasonable to me. Like, they're still making a 20% profit. And when they sell 50 billion pills, that they still make money. They're just not making $1 trillion like they want to.
I find it very interesting that he says he's going to take care of Big Pharma when they had one of their best years, last 3 years because of COVID, when they were doing all these freaking shots and vaccines. They've had a very successful COVID.
Right. Yeah, the COVID, the whole COVID thing made Big Pharma a lot of money. Biden wants to tell you that, these the boosters and stuff are free. No, they're not. They funneled that money around to Big Pharma. And that was taxpayer money that paid for those. So nice try, wrong guy. He says he's going to lower prescription drugs. Never seen that happen yet. He's going to fix health insurance, which he's just basically going to write Obamacare still, which Obamacare is a horrible method. It's still not affordable for people.
What he going to take down those?
Go ahead. Go ahead, Shauna.
When he going to change the price of these EpiPens? A price for EpiPen is $3,200. That's ridiculous. Okay.
For the entire pen?
For the pen, yes, it's $3,200 for an EpiPen. It might have changed, but it was expensive. It's in the thousands for an EpiPen. Yeah,
that's crazy. They need to make. You know how good epinephrine is right before you go work out.
I'm not going to play with you right now. I'm not going to play with you.
That's my goal every episode, Shauna, to get you to do that. I'm just telling you, epinephrine. Pre-workout for champions.
I want you to spell it.
Epinephrine. Think his shit's a game. Biden also says he's gonna expand the child tax credit. He's gonna, make tens of millions gonna cut taxes to the middle class, which we have not seen. What we have seen is property taxes go up just recently. So Biden can say, I'm going to do this for the middle class, but he's actually made it worse for the middle class, which when you increase property taxes, then the insurance companies, put their insurance premiums up. All insurance premiums are up across the board. So if he's going to tout that, he needs to actually do it and not say you're going to do it, because that's been the difference between Biden and Trump. Is we're seeing a lot of I'm going to do this. Well, you've been president for 4 years, Joe. Your time's running out, buddy, for you to do these things. He waited until a month ago to address the border. So it only took them 3 years to address the border. 3.5. That's too little, too late, Joe. You already got all these American people killed already with letting the gangbangers in here. So, hey, we've got celebrities in the house. Okay, so I know I had to think. Like, it's hard to think and to think one way and then think another day. So here Biden, he's setting a minimum income tax of 25% on billionaires. Okay, so we all know what happens when you start messing with corporate tax rates. For those of you who don't understand this, that think, yeah, the big man needs to pay their fair share. That's true and everything. Like, these companies do need to pay their taxes. It's the American way of doing things. There's nothing wrong with that. But to overtax them to compensate for other things is wrong. Like what the progressives are constantly wanting. So when you take an honest company that does pay their taxes and you say, okay, the tax rate is 25% now. It was 21%. 21% is very average for the world. 25%, now you move yourself into the upper echelon of tax rates. Okay? So if you're a company, let's say your company is worth $1 billion. Okay? So now you have to give 25% of $1 billion to the United States government for taxes, as opposed to 21% of it. So you're looking at millions of dollar difference. Millions. If you're a major company, and let's say you work for a pizza place, and you get this company over here saying, hey, I've got these fresh ingredients for this much. But this company over here says, hey, I've got these ingredients for a little bit less, but it's basically the same ingredients. You're going to shop around as a business owner, and you're going to go to who gives you the best tax rate. It's the same thing with any business. You're going to go where the best deal is. Do you want to make $500 million a year, or do you want to make $400 million a year? I would rather make $500 million a year. Just saying. That's the difference between me having my own airplane and me not having my own airplane. I should have my own airplane anyway. Right, Shauna?
Once again, just want to point out how expensive it is to gas a plane. When we're talking about you want one, it's very expensive. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I just use my white privilege and just go say, I need an airplane. See how that works?
I would love to see how.
Let's go to Chambly Tucker. Let's go to Chambly Tucker tomorrow and try it, and we'll video record it. Oh, you said okay. All right, we're doing it. The sergeant said hello to you, Shauna, on our message board. He's back. He's back. We didn't drive him crazy.
How you doing?
She'll be, her camera will be on. She still has red hair. She's still the ginger. Biden. So corporate tax rates is a problem. So if people start bargain shopping, this is what happened when Obama was president and he raised it. All the companies that needed that needed that income, they all shopped around, and a lot of them went to Vietnam, the Philippines, the Philippines, Malaysia. They all bargain shopped over to like the Asia area. And China got some of it. So that's what happens when you do these things. And it's just not it's not a smart idea. Yeah, you might get some revenue, a little extra revenue, but think about the revenue you lose when companies go overseas. You're not really making any money. You're just making companies mad. So I don't agree with that. I think Trump's way of doing things was better. I think you do give corporate tax breaks. My thing with that, though, is it comes down to the company. How do you want to run your company? Do you want to be forced to pay taxes, or do you want to have the availability to trickle that income down? There are a lot of companies out there that do trickle that profit down to their employees on the floor. And that's the type of companies that we want to help out. Because if they're trickling down their profit margins to the people on the floor, that means the middle class is going to get stronger. That's what we want. We want the middle class to get stronger. If you leave everything at a inflated tax rate, half the companies move overseas, and now you're looking at a lower profit margin. So guess what? The ones that stay here, they got to make cuts. They're going to have to make cuts. They're going to have to increase the price of their own product that they're making to try to recover that loss. So it's a disaster. And a lot of these liberals, they don't look at it correctly. It's just because one or two companies didn't trickle down the profits, because we all want to be greedy and not have to work for anything. That's a problem. You don't want to just demand money. You got to go out there and get it. Go work for it. So those are the basic things that's on Biden's page that he's talking about. So I would expect him. I mean, there's not really a lot of success that he can really, really like clamp on that America hasn't already called him out on and said, hey, that's not quite true, Joe. You can say the stock market's hitting record highs all you want, but until I see it in my paycheck and in my bank account and at the grocery store and at the gas pump and everywhere else that me as a middle class person spends my money at, I don't believe nothing you're saying. When you show me that the Dow's hitting records and the NASDAQ's hitting records, that only tells me that asset management companies are getting rich, not me. Are you going to get some insider trading info? Have Nancy call me, because it looks like money's getting made on Wall Street. So I'm sure Nancy knows. No, I did not hear that. I did not. It says, did you hear that? He wants to give an extra 2,000 in. Biden's so dumb. I don't think he's doing anything right. You can't just have giveaways all the time. This isn't Oprah. Like America, it's like a giant Oprah Winfrey show under Biden. I don't think he quite understands like how things work. But anyway, let's get back to what I was talking about. I'm already 28 minutes in. I haven't even talked about Trump yet.
That's because you
Shauna. Hey, she's back.
Hey, y'all.
Back again. Shauna's
back. Girl. This person always wants to do it when I'm at work.
Well, stop working. Just wait for your handout. Biden's got them.
Absolutely not. Now, when Sarge talking about some of this 2,000 in SNAP, I might have to call him on that one.
Are you gonna? Yeah. See, you're gonna get it. Yeah, and then that's what's gonna happen. You're just the food prices are gonna just keep going up. They ain't gonna mess. Man, they're tripping. So
this is exactly why I'm doing my own farm.
Well, so what I think Biden is going to do tomorrow at the debate, I think he's really going to spend most of his time trying to attack Trump. That's going to be his game plan because he can't really fall back on any of his policies because we already know that they failed. So he can't say, yeah, I've done this, this, and this, and it made a difference in America because America's like going, no, it hasn't. We've been dealing with this for 3 years now, Joe. You keep saying it, but we're not seeing it. So that's a problem. So I think he's just going to go after Trump.
More out here.
Did you see the billboards that he put up outside of town?
Mm-hmm. No.
He's got the welcome to the convicted. He's got like a Trump billboard up says welcome convicted felon or something like that.
What? Why my head?
There's like four of them. There's like four of them.
That's crazy. I'm not even gonna lie.
So
that's crazy.
Like if he's gonna take shots at Trump, then he better put his own kid up there. Because I'm pretty sure his son's a convicted felon now. Should we throw the book at him and give up on? I got a job for him at PRT. I'll hire Hunter. We'd be finding piles of cocaine all over the place, though. Like, damn it, who put the cocaine on my desk?
Just follow the trail.
Yeah, follow the trail. Just walk around. Who's doing that all day?
Wild to be doing that when your father's in the White House is crazy.
Right. That's a good, you know what? That's a good point. So I didn't
Thank you, Sarge. That. Exactly. Not helping them disability checks. They still low. Y'all need to be getting more in your disability.
Right, because those are fixed, right? That's a fixed check.
First of all, you have to fight to even get 100% of your disability after coming out of the military. Like, you just don't get it. Like, it takes years and years and years of work to get it done.
Yeah.
Like, one of my managers, her dad has been retired out of, I think, the Marines for over 20 years. And he's just now, like, in the last 3-4 years, getting 100% of his benefit pay.
Oh, that's bad.
Crazy.
That is crazy. Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts about that whole people getting out of the military thing. I think we are horrible at working with vets.
Terrible. I think like 54% of our homelessness is veterans.
Yeah, that's bad. I feel horrible. Like, why would anybody want to enlist?
Well, this is the thing they don't tell you, because when have you ever been to the recruiter's office?
There's enough people out there.
Have you ever even done that whole thing, like going to the recruiter's office and they talk to you and all these things?
Yeah.
Like, they tell you, oh, we're going to give you like a $2,000 sign-on bonus on top of, you're going to get like a $500,000 life insurance policy. Like, they tell you all of these things, but don't tell you like.
Wow, 10 years.
Even Sarge said he in 20 out of still 70% total. See? Exactly. But yeah, like they give you all of these great things and you're going to get all these sign-on bonuses and you're going to be able to choose where you get to travel to, and they try to make everything sound so positive, and then you don't find out all of the stuff until afterwards. Like, once you're in, and now you got to serve your 4 years active and then other 4 years ready reserve.
Well, for one, let's just throw this out here. Recruiters are proven liars. Don't believe anything a recruiter says unless they have it on paper with signatures required. Don't believe nothing they say, because they're going to send you down all kinds of hopes and dreams that are never going to come true. What are you eating? You're distracting me.
I'm hungry. God. Okay.
What's more important? You should be like feeding yourself with the joy of being on my show. All right, what'd you tell your recruiter, Sarge? Let us know. I can only imagine. Shauna, I went to school with him, so we go way back.
You should have been there when I cursed out the drill sergeant when I was at MEPS trying to sign up. That was funny.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, did she just say that? You got to think, me being 5'1", the only girl in this whole room with all men, and he's like calling my name, and I'm like saying, excuse me. I'm trying to get through all the sea of people. He's like, Lewis, don't you hear me calling you? And I'm like, I'm fucking calling, literally. And everybody like turns around, like, she's fucking crazy.
Yeah. And then he's like, get down there and walk like a duck.
And he was like, oh, yeah. Yeah, it was interesting.
So Sarge said that he told him to just shut up and give him the paper.
Yeah, pretty much. Because they do so much. Like, you yelling at me. I'm not at boot camp yet. What are you yelling at me for? Like, please calm down. I'm still a citizen. I haven't signed up for the military
You
yet.
also have to remember that when Sarge went in, it was like right at, like, we graduated and then 9/11 happened.
Oh, wow.
So like we had like the nasty stuff. Like my class was like the first ones in.
Yeah, my brother, he was he's for shout out to all the Navy men, but my brother was a corpsman, and he was one of the first like groups of people to get sent out after 9/11, and pretty much every deployment that he's had in his 20 years of being in the Navy has been to the worst locations as far as that war went on. So very familiar with it. Like, his first tour was like 9 months, then the next one after that was like 13. So I definitely get it. Ooh, yeah, no. Yeah, 9/11 was pretty nasty. Yeah.
Oh, I kind of wish that Bush would have done that the way his dad did it and just thrown a bunch of flyers all over Iraq and said, y'all got 24 hours to get out of here, or I'm gonna fry everybody here. It was effective. The first Gulf War was very effective.
Here you go.
Anyway, so I think Joe Biden is going to get mad. He's going to forget a lot of things, and he's going to ramble. He's going to create his own words that we're all going to have to try to figure out, like, what did he just say? And then he's going to say, the thing.
I just hope that they worked on him reading the prompter this time, because nobody wants to sit there for like 3 hours and watch him struggle reading this. Like, I'm definitely going to.
He's not getting a prompt. He's not getting a teleprompter. He's not getting
whatever they decided to do for him, I hope they practice.
They're going to give him a little tiny earpiece, and they're going to tell him all the answers.
Like the secret,
and you're going to see him the whole time going, what? What? Why does Joe Biden look like he's
nobody wants to deal with that. No one wants to deal with that.
So,
okay.
Trump's strategy is very simple. Let Biden talk. Sit back, be calm, don't fall for the bait, and just let Joe Biden talk. And then here's something my sister-in-law told me on Facebook right before this started. And I highly, highly, highly agree with it. And I think this is the strategy Trump should go for. Trump should not acknowledge Joe Biden. When he talks, he should talk to the American people and not Joe Biden. I think that would resonate with a lot of people, that he's not even paying attention to this clown over here, that the American people need help, and I'm going to talk directly to the people who need help. I think that is an excellent strategy. Kudos to my sister-in-law, Nicole, for coming up with that strategy. I think it's a winner. I think that's what he needs to do. If not, he needs to not turn it into last time. That turned off a lot of people. It made them look like two kindergarten kids fighting over a teddy bear at nap time.
Yeah, it was.
They can't do that. They can't do it this time. Somebody's got to be the adult. I think the way that Trump has been doing his campaign is flawless. I think he needs to go in with that same temperament. He's not letting stuff get under his skin, even though you can tell he gets frustrated sometimes with this court stuff, but he's held it together pretty well, I think. He hasn't done too much, although they kind of did him a favor by giving him a gag order like on everything. So he can't talk or they'll throw him in jail. No, you know how hard that is to not talk. If somebody gave me a gag order, I'm gagging. Just saying. I'm gonna be trying to talk. I'm gonna be trying to bite through the gag. Right, Shauna?
Yeah, because you don't have no home training.
I That's true. That's true. I just talk. I just keep going.
I know your mama tried, but sometimes it don't matter how hard you try. It just don't stick.
I know it was I'm pretty sure it was a study hall monitor that I had in high school that tried really hard to get me to stop.
You were one of the kids in the room carpets, weren't you?
Yeah. Her name was Debbie Kipfer. And we used to call her Little
Shout
Debbie.
out Miss Debbie. We sorry that you had to deal with him.
She's on my Facebook page. But she was the sweetest lady ever. She still is. Tell them, Sarge, about Little Debbie. We love Little Debbie. She was our favorite. I used to trick her all the time in study hall. I had these 2 1-liter Pepsis that I would get every morning before school, and I would drink one in study hall. And then she'd come and go, Eric, you're not supposed to have Pepsi in class. She'd take it and she'd go put it by her desk. And then I'd pop the other one open and start drinking it. And then she'd be like, where are you getting all these? And then I'd have my buddy Sean, he would sneak up to her desk and take my other one back. And we just did this all day. She could never figure it out.
And them poor teachers having to deal with y'all.
She was the best. Little Debbie. She was the best ever. Oh, no. Oh, the Sarge is letting out some secrets. You know what? So I'll tell you this story, Shauna. This is so back when I was in school, we used to be crazy over the WWE. I think it was the WWF back then still. But they had a wrestler named Al Snow. And he's actually from like our area. And but he made it big. And he had a styrofoam head. And his stage persona was that he was crazy and he would talk to the head, and the head said it had "help me" written on his forehead backwards. So I went out and got a styrofoam mannequin head. And my dad reminds me of this all the time because he got a phone call from the school about it. And so I had it in my book bag all the time. It was WCW and WWF. You're right. But I had it in my book bag, and I'd get it out and put it on my desk. And then I would talk to it and ask it questions. And then finally, we get to a girls' basketball game, and we was doing a cheer. And then it was like, what do you want? And then he got expelled. And the guidance counselor, Mrs. Sandy Bandy, her name was Sandy Bandy.
Y'all are terrible.
You would have been like, what is wrong with this woman? She could find something positive in everything. So like she was in this meeting with the principal and me and her, and she was like telling the principal, like, I don't know, Kevin, I think this might be really therapeutic for Eric. This is probably a really good idea. Which now that I think about it, so I was going to go to the Marine Corps after high school, and my principal wouldn't sign off that I was mentally stable enough to go to the Marines, which probably because of head. But I had a styrofoam head that I took to class with me. And he got the first styrofoam head to ever get expelled from my school.
All I'm saying is, you're walking around with this at the school. Of course they would advance you. Of course they wouldn't. What did you expect to happen?
Listen, that's nothing. That was our class. Sarge and another one of our buddies, Doc, they were walking around a football game dressed up like serial killers one time. I remember that. Yeah. Serial killers. Somebody was Jason Voorhees, and I don't remember what everybody else was, but I just remember we had serial killers at the football game. Yeah. That was our class. That's the last the last generation of Gen X. We went out with a bang. And then everybody turned soft after that. All the generations are soft now. They tell you on TikTok, don't wake up Gen X. Bad things, man. Bad things. Yeah, we did do some fun stuff. All the
Y'all
time.
did stupid stuff. Stupid stuff.
Well, that's what happens when you're awesome.
No.
Our whole class was awesome. Except the cheerleaders. We didn't like that. Everybody else was cool though.
Not except the cheerleaders. I hope one of them see y'all and smack the mess out of y'all.
Meth? There wasn't nobody. We didn't have meth back then. We didn't have meth. We had
Meth?
parties where we would just drink. We would drink Pepsi and water.
A bunch of white kids, and there's no meth. That's what you're telling me.
No, we didn't have meth. We didn't have meth back then. We was out in the middle of a cornfield. Like the worst drug you could get was like weed, I think. Back then, now it's like infested with.
So
all
it
kinds
wasn't
of
even
things.
cocaine?
No, like you couldn't find stuff like that. Not that I ever looked for it, but
You mean to
couldn't
tell
find-
me y'all are out here in these fields and
We
the
think-
worst
we
thing
think-
you had was marijuana? So you mean there was nobody cooking with baking soda for either heroin or cocaine?
if they were
That's
doing
what
it,
you're telling
yeah, there you go. See,
Right.
there
He
might
said
have
maybe
been
LSD or shroom.
there was some of that, but like the super hard drugs, they didn't hit the area yet. We were kind of like lame when it came to that. Like now it's just infested with fentanyl and heroin. So
Man, cocaine is the regular drug at one of the high schools not too far from me right now. These are 15-year-olds snorting lines. Whatever.
but we didn't do drugs. We decided we didn't want to be like Hunter
Your
Biden.
face says a different story.
We didn't. Can't speak for everybody.
What's Jimson seeds? What is that? Oh my
You're gonna have
god!
to
Now he
Google it.
has me. Now I'm
Google
about
it.
to go Google. Go Google. Oh my god!
Don't tell Shauna. She's in her
What is it
experimental.
like?
phase.
Is it like a psychedelic? Oh my god! Jimson seeds. Uses side effects and more. Is a plant.
Well, yeah, it's a
Hold on.
seed.
Is it from potatoes?
I don't know. I never looked it up. We had microdots too. Those were
It
bad.
comes from potatoes. Oh, see, no wonder why this has such bad side effects. The fuck are y'all smoking potato seeds for?
Why not?
Yeah, this is just as bad. It's talking about some what? Oh, you got to do activated charcoal. Oh, include dry mouth, dilated pupils, blurred vision, hallucinations, difficulty urinating. Why? Why? Who wants to do that?
Well, it's not that hard to get a hold of. Look, our school's out in the middle of a cornfield.
Why don't y'all just make like corn whiskey or something? Like, why are y'all out here doing that? That shit's stupid.
No, we
I've
just
never
have our
tried it.
21-year-old buddies go to the drive-through and do it
I'm
for
so
us.
sorry, Sarge. I'm so sorry that happened to your brother. I apologize for that. And now we did. I just hear a whole lot of stupid happening for y'all. That's
We did.
what I'm getting from all of this.
It was the most ridiculous. We should have had our own reality show back then because it was nuts.
Yeah, it would have been like Jackasses 1.0.
Yeah.
Not he
It
made it just,
definitely-
I'm sure it did mess him up. I'm sure it did.
I was gonna say, doesn't your brother have Facebook? I'm pretty sure I saw him on my suggestions the other day.
Oh my God.
I wasn't sure. I was like, where's he going with this? I feel like he's
Shout
gonna
out
pop
to the
with
brother
like
for
some-
making it. Oh my God. I can't even.
That's
We're very
That's
off
what we do.
topic.
Oh yeah. What were we talking about? Oh yeah. Donald Trump needs to do nothing. Do nothing. React to nothing.
I think it would be very out of character for him. If he did that, it would like literally just throw the whole thing off. Like it would throw Joe all the way off.
I
It
think
would
Biden
definitely throw
won't
him
know what to do. I think their whole plan is going to be to get him to react, and they think it's going to be an easy thing to do. And I think Trump is completely prepared to blow off Joe Biden. Not like that, but what?
I didn't say anything. You stopped mid-sentence. Finish. Oh God, no more.
Literally our stories never stop. There's always another one.
Please, God, no.
It's like one. Yeah.
Y'all too. I'm not even.
Joe Biden.
You guys, everybody get up and vote. Okay? Everybody go
Yeah.
vote. Don't be like, oh, I'm not gonna vote because I don't like the candidates, because somebody's still gonna be elected regardless. So vote with intention.
Big Mike 2024.
One of these days, I'm going to slap the shit out of you. I have told you numerous of times to stop.
Yeah, so he's talking about a teacher that we had,
Oh,
Mr.
God.
McElroy, but we called him Mackie. It was like he kicked somebody out of class like every day, I think. I remember he kicked this one kid out of class, like one of our friends, Justin, because he asked him to talk or to read history. He was a history teacher. And he said, Justin, will you read this? And so Justin didn't want to read. And the first word was the. So he was sitting here going, he was trying to sound it out. He was like, he to he. And he was like, go to the office, Justin. He used to drive these teachers crazy. I felt bad. They all needed raises after our class. I run into some teachers sometimes when I go home and they're like, you guys are still by far the worst class we've ever had.
Say it. Just say it.
Winning.
Just say it. I used to get in trouble all the time for fighting, so I was never in class. My principal wouldn't allow it.
Yeah, we didn't really have to fight all that much in school. We did have like a gauntlet, like the underclassmen would go down there and they just ricochet off people all the way down the hallway. But they just take it because it's tradition. One day they'll do it.
No, we were good at what we did. Yeah, being idiots. All of you.
Sorry, said we are good at what we did.
It's a trait, not a skill. Let's just go ahead and say that. All y'all are idiots.
No, we were
as a collective.
We were awesome collectively. And we didn't really have like a bunch of subgroups. It was like one big group.
See, we never had those social problems at my school. Like everybody understood their collective group that they were supposed to be in. Okay, you're a jock, you be with the jocks, you be with the cheerleaders, you be with the dancers, you be the nerds and the band geeks. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it was.
You city folks were already practicing segregation in the modern terms, where we weren't. We were unified.
All walks of life. Like if you look at serious note, my school went viral on not my class. It was a class under me, 2014. But they went viral on the Shade Room on Instagram or whatever like that. But no, like my school, like when you see all of us, we're all still very close together. Like if we haven't seen each other in 10 years, but if I see you like when I'm out, we all say hey, give each other love. We're all unified. It's just everybody had their perspective groups they were in, and
Yeah,
nobody really wanted to trickle out of that.
Our group was, well, did you get arrested this weekend?
No,
Good.
absolutely not.
Hey, did you get arrested for that this weekend?
What groups like me around would act like I didn't exist? What?
So Sarge was a quiet one, but he was sneaky, and you had to be careful. You had to be very careful because he's quick. If you get him on one, he's quick-witted. He will get you. Super quick. So, all right, now that I have like totally not talked about anything I wanted to talk about, we should reminisce about high school.
Because you got 2 minutes and I got to get back on the flow.
Okay, we'll just count it down. 2 minutes. Look, I got to keep my time with you. This is my time.
I'm just going to go back to my stream being black. Y'all don't want to see Starbucks behind the scene. It's rough.
I'm not going to drink that crap anyway.
Why? Your height is already stunted. You drinking coffee would do absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it don't taste good. If I want caffeine, I'm just drink a Monster like I do every day. Like, I don't know why Monster don't just sponsor me 24 hours
that
a day.
eats through concrete, and I've told you that.
Prove it.
Pull up the lawsuits. You'll find them.
Starbucks eats through your soul and turns you into a liberal. It's from Seattle. You guys have your own autonomous zone where you just do whatever you want. Burn stuff. Oh, we're still doing a show. Oh. All right. So that is the show for the day. And join me Saturday. We're going to do a Saturday quickie. Shauna's going to have to video record because somebody's getting a tattoo on Saturday. Don't know who that is. But Shauna's going to be there.
Tattooed on my ass.
You are?
Mm-hmm.
How you know? You just going to put it on my tab?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Be like, add it to his.
I'm not getting a
Thank
tattoo
you.
on my ass.
I might get my tongue pierced.
So we will. Well, you do whatever you want.
In other news, educate, vote wisely, great people, okay? Don't be too much of an idiots like these two.
Trump 2024, the only option. He's on TV right now.
I cannot reiterate enough. I know the selections aren't great enough as far as candidates go in everybody's eyes, but all I say is really educate yourself and vote with intentions. Vote what's going to be good for you. Do not vote because, oh, I've been Democrat and I've always been Democrat, or, oh, I've always been Republican, I'm going to vote Republican. Vote with intention. We've all been living in America. We've all been dealing with what's going on. So make sure to understand our situations now and vote.
Just say Trump 2024.
No.
Say it one time.
No.
I will put that on TikTok so fast. I will edit it and put it on TikTok.
I know you would. And that's exactly why I won't. On top of, I am not a Trump supporter.
You're voting for Jill Stein, aren't you?
I'm voting for everybody black.
There aren't any black people.
I'm rooting for everybody black. There you go.
We're
rooting for everybody black.
Ugh. All right.
Bye,
That's the end of
Sarge.
the
See
show.
you later.
See you Saturday. Bring the pain.